What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Westworld video. So if you are new to the channel, please consider leaving a like and a subscribe down below if you did enjoy the video. So Westworld was and has been possibly one of the best episodes this season. I absolutely loved this episode, and for once it was really nice to have an entire story beat told and actually come to a close in one entire episode, which, to be honest, has been a real joy, because shows like Westworld and Game of Thrones, and also Legion to an extent, they present us with new ideas, they present us with new kind of mysteries, and don't solve them for pretty much a very long time or drag them out. So the big part here was the flashbacks of Delos and William. Now we show Delos and we see a vinyl record player playing, and then we cut to someone on an exercise bike, which is very much a huge reference to Lost Season 2. So in Lost, we did have a hatch, which was a mystery for the entirety of Season 1, and it opens with what we have no idea who this person is, and we find out that this person was underneath that hatch. So when the record player hits and then we see the bike, this is pretty much a huge hint towards they're paying an homage to Lost. There aren't too many story beats or things that can be kind of crossed over with this or hinted, so I think it's just there an homage. But we know that it is Delos, so throughout the entirety of the episode, it looks like Delos is having some sort of degenerative disease, and he is actually in a care home or something like that. However, to me, straight away I knew this is a host. This is 100% a host, because last episode I did posit the idea that they have cloned Delos in some way, and that person is actually Abernathy for some reason. But I was right on the cloning, and they did make a human host hybrid. So it seems like they have somehow mapped the brain of Delos, and they have put that inside a host's body, but the reality kind of thing is not working at all. So I love how throughout the episode we do see the change of William and his relationship with Delos. So as time goes by, at first he's eager to please, second time he's getting frustrated, and lastly, we actually see what is going on. We see that William has had a hell of a horrible life, and his life has gone to hell. And also, with that in mind, Delos' life has gone to hell, or at least his legacy, his complete and utter legacy has gone wrong. And it seems like legacy is also a big part of this show. So as time has gone by, Delos' legacy has failed, and we know that William's wife, Delos' daughter, has killed herself. We're not really sure why. I expect that it is due to the descent into madness or craziness that William has had as time as he's turned into the Man in Black. And this season pretty much is the origin story of the Man in Black. We've seen William go and kind of be a more assertive person after he left the park in Season 1. And we've seen him actually get more on the company's side. So I think that this is pretty much a hint to where we're going. We're going to see how his life has gone by. And we did see, of course, Grace, his daughter, which was a massive reveal, which again I did think it might have been a possibility, because she knows quite a lot about the park. That is another thing as well, that is another hint towards that's how we're going to see how this goes. And we did also see that Logan has had an overdose as well. So William's daughter's uncle has actually had an overdose, and we see Delos finally break. And in an absolutely spectacular piece of storytelling, writing and cinematography, well, we see Delos as time has gone by. So this looks like it's about 35 days before the journey into the night uprising from the hosts. So the final visit was very close towards the start of Season 1. So with that in mind, that's probably why William was actually in the park. He was in there because he was looking around and actually conducting business as, well, he would, being the kind of caretaker of the Delos industry. So that's really cool. At this point we know that Logan is dead, so Logan cannot actually sort of overtake the whole nature of the business as well, so that can't happen whatsoever. But the whole idea of clones is an absolutely massive thing. We know that these hybrids do fail at some point, and we know as well from previous trailers that there is I don't know, I've been calling it Bernard when the British people call it Bernard. It's really weird. But what is really cool is the fact that we've seen all of these Bernard clones in the trailer. So he's with Elsie as well. And the big thing here is that his memories are not linear. So all of the scenes that we've actually seen with Bernard, they're not linear whatsoever. So every time you see Bernard, we're seeing it through himself, of course, because we're watching him. But it's not linear, so I wouldn't trust these scenes whatsoever. So now we know this, maybe it's worth going back and looking at all of his scenes and seeing how they lie. And in the future, these scenes will also give us a big clue as to what is actually going on. And we'll see maybe the culmination of events before they have even actually started. Now, we saw him with Elsie, who has returned, a great character. Really, really glad that Elsie has returned and is safe and sound. She was trapped by Robert. But here, we know now that these human hybrids exist. So these human hybrid host things, the mapping of the human brain is now works. So, with that in mind, we actually see a brain. We see a brain being made for someone else. And this was in the bunker where we did see another version of Delos. So, again, we know that there is a clone body being made. We know this clone body is for Robert Ford. We knew he was cloning himself. However, he's dead. What if Robert Ford is actually going to clone himself? So I think that Robert Ford, this is the clone. This is the big one here. I think that Robert Ford will reveal himself to the Man in Black, that this has all been a game. This game is just to show the final level of human evolution, of putting your mind inside a robot body so you can survive and be immortal forever. Death and immortality are two humongous themes this season throughout the entire show. We had the mortality question with William as well in the city where, kind of the town we saw last season, where we see him being an anti-hero. So, again, foreshadowing him becoming a repentant person and him actually maybe becoming a good guy again. He's seen the error of his ways, and perhaps we will see him be a good person now his daughter has come to him and returned to him. So his daughter is a huge, huge thing as well. She's been saved by the Ghost Nation, who again have done more fishy things. They're speaking to the head of security, who we've seen just after the attack. And this is set before we see him, when we see Bernard wake up on the beach. So again, what is big here is the fact that the timelines are completely screwed up. And the Ghost Nation are saving people. And they mention that weird thing, how you will survive just as long as the last person remembers you. Yeah, that's really, really odd. And that's a very Ford thing to say. So I don't doubt that Ghost Nation has been separated by Ford in some way, and Ford is still using these games and is trying to unlock this last piece of mentality. Now, what's really weird is another idea is that Man in Black could be a successful clone. He could be a successful human host hybrid as well. But as always, this was a fantastic episode. Really, really long-winded and really kind of a lot to digest in one go. But spectacular. However, that is it for this video. Please drop a like. Please do subscribe. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.